Abdullah, let's talk about AI and automation and how those things are factoring into what we're doing at Afghan Wireless.
What we are trying to do as a technical department, we are trying to redimension the network to have networks or 6 different networks that will work simultaneously together to create that big network. And in the future, if something will happen, this small network, if it's interrupted, it can work independently without referring to the other networks around. I will give an example. The upper part of the network is connected to different outlets or to different connectivities, one to Tajikistan and one to Uzbekistan. And the center is connected to another connectivities. Right now, all the traffic is centralized through one data center or 2 data centers. So what we are trying to create is we are trying to create this edge data center that if there is any interruption into the transit connectivity, this edge data center can play the role of the network without referring to the main data center, which is in the center of the network. And this will require a lot of AI, a lot of proactivities, a lot of simulation on the network to make sure that each and every connection at real time is perfectly synchronized. Otherwise, we cannot achieve this small edge connectivity that will work seamless, independent in case we have an outage or in case we have a fiber cut or in case we have an interruption in the transport. So the AI is a tool that will give you the potential to predict and to work on the synchronization real time and to tell you exactly where is the mistake on your network so you can be proactive in terms of the troubleshoot and in terms of service.
I think your description of AI is actually correct in the sense that the geographical implications of your hardware and software means that you will want to automate as much as possible on the cloud. We've been doing some similar work in the sense of not optimizing in terms of automation based on geographical requirements. The need to optimize and automate all the necessary elements you've got on the cloud. So if you take network optimization and trying to predict network failures and network downtime, it's commonly termed as anomaly detection. You know, in a network, you have streams and streams of data, megabytes and terabytes of data going. Network failures reflect themselves in terms of specific patterns of that data, okay? This is a perfect example of where AI really sits in, where it's at home, if you want to call it that, where you train the data, you look at the data, you look at what are the features that correlate to certain types of failures. And then you can actually have the AI sitting and monitoring the data in real time. And it's mapping the patterns, it's matching the features. And as soon as you get in the real-time data, the real-time data streams exhibiting or showing the beginnings of features or patterns which we know in the past have been indicative of failures, indicative of problems, reduction in quality of service, then the AI can immediately highlight it, flag it, and actually escalate to the relevant people before the downtime occurs, before the problem occurs. And this is exactly what AI has been designed for. Lots of data embedded with different types of features, extract those features, and actually then preempt any problems occurring as a consequence of the existence of those features in that data stream.
Actually, it's exactly like that. In fact, I would say that, I'm sure you'd agree, that the kind of heavy lifting, the kind of processing power, the amount of hours it would take for human beings to sort of absorb and go through the data to find those sort of patterns or absence of those patterns is just not humanly possible, and it's certainly not scalable sort of activity. So clearly the technology is not replacing human jobs. It's filling a gap that humans can't fill, and it's helping human beings focus on what human beings do better. I would say that rather than taking away your job, it's actually creating new jobs and new opportunities for human growth.